You know, sometimes I like to just sit back. I like to relax. I like to talk using my voice. Now, some people say, why would you talk using a voice? Why not just talk with your mind? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because if I talk with my mind, you wouldn't be able to hear me. See? Can, can you hear me now? Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey, that's Rachel, and we're here to talk to you.
We're going to talk about Conor McGregor today. Now,
Conor McGregor!
I wonder, why would we be talking about Conor McGregor? Well,
frankly, it's for the views. No, it's not actually the reason.
No.
Today it's not the reason.
You know, we'd already talked about, Stipe versus Ngannou is official, but we already talked about that. Like
we told you that was going to happen before it even was really going to happen. That's what you get by coming here.
So here's what happened. I got up this morning, saw this story, Insta story from Conor McGregor, and I told Kelsey, I was like, yeah, I saw Conor this morning on Insta stories, and made me kind of cringe a little bit. And so here, I'll put on the thing here. Here's Conor's Insta story, and I mean, even as I'm talking about it, it's giving me that like.
You feel uncomfortable.
Well, like, you know when you first watch The Office?
Yeah.
You're like, there's some things Michael Scott does. Like, I have a friend who there's an episode of The Office she won't watch, and it's Scott's Tots.
Scott's Tots.
Because it makes her feel so uncomfortable that he's doing what is happening. It's so crazy. This is a little taste of that when I watched Conor's Insta stories. But you said something interesting to me. What did you say to me?
I said this. I say the thing about Conor McGregor that everybody, I think, could learn from Conor McGregor is that Conor McGregor loves himself. He definitely loves himself. And so I saw the same Instagram story after you told me, and I had a similar feeling, but I'm not sure that similar type feeling comes from a good place, right?
Right.
I think that what Conor McGregor does for himself is important, that everybody should do it. And I think that he's a great example of somebody doing that because Conor's been through a lot. And Conor, unlike us, when Conor goes through a lot, it's all over the news, man. It is big, big news. I joke often about writing about Conor McGregor every time he eats a sandwich. Well, imagine when Conor McGregor was arrested or when Conor McGregor gets in this altercation or this whatever. It's a big thing. So Conor McGregor, just like everybody else in the world, is growing and learning, except Conor McGregor has the added thing of everybody watching him.
Yeah.
Well, Conor McGregor still loves himself and still treats himself with respect. And even, you could say even he retired. Well, he didn't feel like he was being treated right by the UFC. Mm-hmm. And so he made that decision for himself. I think that is a good thing. And I think that I would want to be more like Conor McGregor is,
In that Insta story.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. And I think it's interesting you said that cringy or uncomfortable feeling that comes up. You were like, I'm not sure that comes from a good place. And when I think about when I was watching the Insta story and what came up for me, well, why was I feeling uncomfortable and cringy inside? And it's because I was like, doesn't he know people can see this? People see him doing this? And what is he doing besides gazing admiringly at himself through a lens? And then I was like, it's not okay to do that. So then I'm judging.
So these are messages though that you learned.
Yeah. But these are messages that I have, and then I'm projecting them onto Conor McGregor, and I'm like, it's making me uncomfortable. But it's making me uncomfortable, which says so much more about me.
Yeah.
Than Conor McGregor. And what is he doing besides? If I saw a toddler in front of a mirror, looking at themselves and smiling and laughing,
so amazing.
I wouldn't judge. I wouldn't be like, oh, don't let somebody see you doing that.
You'd probably be the opposite. You'd be like, oh, that's cute.
I'd be like, oh,
baby
look
looking
at
at himself.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just putting something different out there because I just thought it was an interesting thing to question about myself. Why do I think this? Instead of immediately going down what I really appreciate about you is that I brought this to you and you weren't like, gosh, it's he's so full of himself. So we didn't then together go down this rabbit hole of judgment and condemning.
Well, because these are learned things that we all learned. Not everybody, but some people have learned growing up, and so to break those cycles, it helps when you surround yourself with people who maybe can help you when you start going down a path that maybe you don't want to go anymore. It's easy, so sometimes I come to you with stuff, and you'll kind of show me a different way to think about the thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. This is old ways of thinking that I habitually do still, but I don't really want to do that. I'm not here to judge Conor McGregor or anybody else, especially over.
But it's not like my place to judge him, and it just makes my life less enjoyable if I go around judging people. And then I don't think it actually helps them. It's, first of all, it's not my job to like help or manage everybody else's life.
Doing fine.
Yeah. And like it's their job to reach, like to grow and learn on their own. That's their thing to manage, and however they end up doing that is how they do it. So like I don't find that it's helpful for people usually.
Even if there was something there.
The public, attacks them is like, oh, this is stupid or whatever. Because you know what? As many people that had the reaction that I had, there was easily probably even more people who like love him, who like, had a reaction to that and were like, fire, hard eyes, like did all that stuff.
I never thought I could react. He has his things
depends.
open.
Does he have his
he
things
does,
open?
Which is surprising to me. But I should start firing this thing like fire.
Yeah.
I did.
Go ahead.
One day I did message him and asked him like where he got his notorious nickname from, because I couldn't find out. Remember, I was asking all these people, all the Irish writers. I did all this research.
Okay.
I asked him that. And a week later, MacLife.com, which is the website he owns that covers MMA, did a story about it. I was like, come on, Conor, you could have given me that if it was something, because you know what I mean?
Yeah. That
would have meant a lot. Conor, I could have taken off the rest of the year. But that's just a funny story. Why did I tell that story?
I don't know.
It's funny though, right? I was like, what the heck? Like nobody knew, and then all of a sudden they dropped that. On a side note, and then I didn't even get to cover it because somebody else claimed it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I asked Conor, they did this. The story makeup. It seems pretty coincidental, and then I didn't even get the thing to write about it. That's funny. Anyway, Conor McGregor. When I see people like Conor McGregor or anybody that maybe in the past I might have come at him in a different way, not on purpose, intentionally, but maybe in a judgmental way. I try to like really look at it and say, well, what positive thing can I learn from this person? Because that's more important than me putting my judge robe on. I'll also wear a little judge's like wig.
Yeah.
Yeah. I carry a gavel.
And to be honest, it's not that much different. When you and I go to the beach, I put it on my Instagram and put like a picture of us. Like, it's really not like totally that much different than this, but like I immediately was in a place of like it made me uncomfortable. It just says so much more about me than it does Conor.
Well, Conor, we know you watch our show and we love you. We're grateful to have you as one of our best fight friends. We like talking about you. We like judging you from afar. No, I like writing about you. You really watch, but you like writing about you. But thanks, for being our best fight friend.